Andres de Doblea Sports reporting to you after attending the Sharks game against the Los Angeles Kings on Monday, November 25th of 2024. I do have some videos and highlights from the game, not as much as the last few times, but nevertheless, I did get some highlights for all of you to watch and enjoy, along with this reaction and grades video. And wow, just wow, what an incredible game it was for the Sharks, winning 7-2 and scoring 5 goals in the third period. To give a summary for the game, during the first period, the Sharks got a goal early in the first 3 minutes of the game and were up 1-0. And in that first period, it did look like they had a slight edge over their opponents. In the second period, the Sharks began to look a little shaky defensively, and the Kings were able to create 2 good plays, one in front of the net, and the Kings were able to score with goals from Clark and Kopitar. Fortunately, the Sharks' offensive front was playing really well, and Zetterlund got a goal back for the Sharks to tie the game entering the third period. And in the third period, with the offensive front playing well, the defense adjusted and shut down the Kings' offensive front as they completely collapsed defensively. And the offense had a dominating performance in the third period, dropping 7 goals on the Kings in this game, 5 during that third period. 2 goals were scored on power plays amid the Kings' collapse, and Macklin Celebrini was easily the best player of the game with 2 goals and an assist. Even Yaroslav Askarov had a great performance with 22 saves on the night. With that, it was an excellent performance from the Sharks, with everyone on the team playing well and contributing in this dominating win. And this was a win against an LA Kings team that will likely be in the playoffs this season. So this was a dominating performance and probably their best game of the season. In a game where they, frankly, in my opinion, handed the Kings what will probably be their worst loss of the year amid a massive defensive collapse in this game. With that final score 7-2, and with the San Jose Sharks winning big at home, here are the Sharks' grades for this performance. Offensive front, A+. They dropped 7 goals on the Kings, with 5 goals being scored in the third period alone. Nico Sturm, Fabian Zetterlund, Timothy Liljegren, Alex Wenberg, Luke Kunin, and rookie Macklin Celebrini were the goal scorers for the Sharks in this game. But the star player of the game and easily the best player on the ice for either team was Macklin Celebrini. He had 2 goals and an assist in this game. His first goal came at the start of the third period on a great play where he looked off net, faking out the Kings goalkeeper, David Rittich, and it just barely looking at the net, making an absolute gem of a shot that got past Rittich. Then just a few minutes later in the period, after a failed coach's challenge by the Kings and a second minor penalty for the Kings, Celebrini scored his second on a one-touch just bullet into the net off a good pass from William Eklund as the Sharks capitalized on the 2-player advantage they had. This pretty much ended any chances left for the Kings in this game. The Sharks' offense was later able to score 2 more goals, with the 6th coming right off the face-off on the start of a 4-minute power play. This was just an incredible performance from the Sharks' young offensive front, and it was a historic performance from Celebrini, who became the youngest player in franchise history to record a 3-point game. I mean, just gosh, this young star is truly incredible. He was also the first 18-year-old to accomplish this feat for the Sharks since Patrick Marleau in 1998. It's truly amazing to watch what Celebrini is doing on the ice right now at just 18 years old. Honestly, at this point, if he doesn't win Rookie of the Year, I would be very surprised. Overall, it was an A-grade performance offensively. They scored and scored a lot. This was a big step forward for their young players up front and the team as a whole. Defensemen, A-. They looked shaky in the second period and conceded 2 goals. Fortunately, the Sharks got one back to tie the game to end the second period, tied at 2 goals each. This allowed the defense to regroup and adjust, and it worked perfectly. They shut down the Kings' offensive front, and with the Kings collapsing defensively, it allowed even the defensemen to also push down the ice and contribute offensively. Mario Ferraro made a great pass across the ice to Nico Sturm for the assist on the first goal of the game. Liljegren also contributed to the goal scoring and got the 4th goal of the game. Henry Thrun, Jan Ruda, and Jake Wallman also had assists in this game. Liljegren also contributed to the goal, and again, Liljegren contributed to the goal scoring and got the 4th goal. So this was probably the strongest defensive performance that I've seen so far for the Sharks, with the defense adjusting to outplay the Kings' offense in the third period and contribute offensively. I mean, that's probably the best way to describe how the defense performed. It was the best performance this year from the defensemen, and really a step forward, a big improvement for them. Goalkeeper, A. Yaroslav Askarov, the 22-year-old Russian acquired from the Predators, got to make just his second start and appearance for the San Jose Sharks in this game, and it was his first start at home for the team. Askarov had a great performance with 22 saves and a save percentage of 92%. He even contributed offensively as well, credited with an assist on the Sharks' first goal. Overall, a great home debut for Askarov in the Shark Tank. Enforcers, A-. No fights in the game, although there were moments where they came close to getting in some fights. During one brief scuffle, one of the Kings players threw the first punch, and the Enforcers didn't respond in any way, and it worked out well as the Sharks got a power play out of it. During a couple of breaks in the first and second periods as well, things got a bit chippy among the players, and you could see them from my vantage point talking back and forth during the TV commercial breaks. And the refs ended up beginning to stand in between the players just to make sure it was only words being exchanged and the fight didn't break out. This definitely elevated the physicality level of the game, as the Enforcers definitely began to play some tougher hockey in the third period. And physically, they outplayed the Kings. And while physically outplaying them, the Enforcers quickly shut down any chances the Kings had left in terms of trying to move the puck down the ice to try to get back in the game in any way. Head coach, A. Ryan Warsofsky definitely took what worked in their 4-2 win against the Kings earlier in the season and built up on that. For those who don't know, they already had a game earlier in the season at the Shark Tank. I was at that game as well, so you can definitely check that out. And you can check out all the content on my channel from that game. But Warsofsky took what worked in their 4-2 win that night and implemented it in this game, building up on it, and his strategy and game plan worked perfectly. He also helped the defense regroup and made adjustments entering the third period in how they played, and it resulted in the defense playing well. In convincing fashion, he outcoached Jim Hiller. And this is one of the first wins under his watch where you can genuinely say that Ryan Warsofsky, from start to finish, completely outcoached the opposing team's head coach. Prior to this game, reports also came out about Warsofsky having a conversation with rookie Macklin Celebrini, encouraging him to use his quick and strong releases of the puck that often tricks goalies, as we saw in Celebrini's first goal. Sure enough, Celebrini, with obviously shown during that first goal, took Warsofsky's advice, and it worked as, again, Celebrini scored a one-touch shot for his second of the night as well. Warsawski, he coached well while giving some good advice to the young star and the players on the team. For being the youngest coach in the league as well as a rookie head coach, Warsawski is definitely starting to fit into his new role well, making a positive impact on the team and the Sharks organization so far. Final score 7-2 with the Sharks winning at home. This was 100% the Sharks' best game of the season. Overall, just an A grade performance. This was a big win against what will likely be a playoff team in the LA Kings, and this was a big step forward for the team as they build up around their young stars. Their next two games will be against Ottawa and Seattle, where they will hope will hope to build up on their success this week. So they're one big win. Let's see if they can get on a winning streak of any sort. Andres de AA Sports, of course, leave your thoughts on the game in the comments below. Let me know what you think of this Sharks team. Stay tuned for some more content from this game. As again, I'm going to post more highlights and shorts on the channel. I also, again, got a puck from the game as well, and some awesome photos from Monday night. So you can check those out on this channel's community posts section. I didn't record as much this time, but I did nevertheless get a couple of goals on camera for you all. So check those videos out. That is all for me in this one. Go Sharks.